Hi everyone, this is HJ. Welcome back to Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. What I have for you today is the 50th episode Spectacular. And this, of course, is a bunch of crap. This is going to be the worst episode you ever watch. There is nothing exciting that happens in here, nothing gameplay related. All this is a maintenance episode, but I figured I'd at least turn it into something, because there was a bunch of stuff I had to get done in game. So if you're looking for gameplay, if you're looking for plot, if you're looking for anything fun or exciting, Ogre Battle related, you can throw that right out the window. I'm letting you know now, I'll say for 10 minutes in advance. All this is me going through organized screen and reordering and remaking half my units, and then me doing a little bit of training on the weaker units, trying to get one of the special pages, and you'll see about that at the end when we get there. So there's a little bit of gameplay stuff at the end, but this is mostly just maintenance, and it's mostly just going to be commentary. And today's topic of commentary is actually the progress I've made on this Let's Play. So, I don't know if you're a stat guy, but I took some stats in undergrad and college, and I decided to tally some stuff up so you could see exactly where we stand on everything. So, pull up my cheat sheet here. Currently, we've got 49 episodes in. That seems like a lot, at least it does to me, but then again, I do know that someone did watch all these in less than 3-day period, so maybe it's not a long time. I don't know. I looked at the YouTube video playlist and it said currently, before episode 50 was recorded, that the videos total 9 hours, 13 minutes, and 27 seconds. So you could spend roughly longer than a day I spend at work watching Ogre Battle videos and be caught up. So that's not too terrible. It's like, I don't know, if you had to ballpark it, maybe like a 26 episode TV show or something, it's roughly the same amount of time, or something like that. You know, I wouldn't compare it to like a 51 set anime, because anime is usually 22 minutes and my stuff's normally about 10 or 11, but you know, roughly a 26 episode series, we could say, it YouTube formatted to 9 hours or so. And the actual gameplay after the video, I did look up the time, is after I save, after the organized screen and the battling, it's I've made 11 hours, 28 minutes, and 32 seconds of actual gameplay in game, of course, which is sped up to not make it take as much time. And I think if I'd implored the let's speed up gameplay thing earlier on in the series, it wouldn't have been as bad. But you know, you live and you learn. I guess you deal with it. So more stats for you if you care. I'm just doing this to give myself a little recap, because I like to watch myself talk too, because I'm an egotistic asshole sometimes. I feel that if I wasn't, I wouldn't have a Let's Play. So currently 42 subscribers, so thanks to all of you that actually watch these, and by all of you I mean all 5 of you. That's right, there's stats that show me who watches every video, and up until recently, the last 5 of you have watched the last 2 videos before this one, so thanks to your 5, making me want to do this a little bit more, so awesome for that. And if you're not subscribed, you're still watching this, maybe you should do that, and stuff. I don't care, whatever. Most of those 42 subs are like my friends or people who don't actually sign on to YouTube anymore, so they don't really count. It's just like an arbitrary number. It's like the number of women I've slept with, which is less than 10. There you go. So far we've had 1 game over. That was during the escort mission, and it's ironically the same mission I got my capture card. That was episode 18-ish, kinda. That was the Yumo escort mission, and that was our only game over. So I personally think that was a bunch of garbage, but then again, I am stupid sometimes, so these things happen. Right now we're switching over to the training part in the background, if you care. Originally I go to Malaysia and I try and get some training out with one of the weaker units, but we get our ass kicked and pull out, and I end up heading over to Alba to train, since all the units are weaker and easier to beat there. So that's just for background if you care. I even sped up the training to faster than the organized screen was, because there may be some interesting changes to the organized screen that you may have caught in the background, but as far as training, it literally is just battle, 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 like worse than the actual gameplay battles, if you can believe it. So that's why these just sped up to their max allowable speed up, I guess. So just more for you. The video cuts out at roughly 5 minutes and change in. So I was eating dinner. I was in the process of doing this hour-and-a-half long episode, I guess, and I forgot to record going back to more battles. So that's why there's a little gap, and you'll see a little sorry notification that comes up. So sorry about that in advance. More stats for you. I did use one Altar of Resurrection. That was stupid on my part. It was mostly just laziness and the rush to get to work. So that was a more recent episode, so if you did catch that, I've used one so far. Not that this matters for anything again, so... Again, got the capture card roughly around episode 18. That makes the gameplay look a lot better than it did on the crappy emulator. And allows me to modify it a little bit more too, so... Pretty good for that. Overall, I'd say my favorite episode was probably episode 40, the end of chapter 1, the ending of Alba. And the reason I liked that one so much was because just the way I figured I did the cutscenes and the intro to the episode made it feel a little bit better. And that's also when I introduced the new system. So I think that was a big episode in the whole gameplay scheme of things. So that's why it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And second place probably has to be the drunken duel commentary with my buddy and the drunken boss battle and appropriate cutscene. Because man, I was out of it that night. Holy crap. And even though my commentary didn't make sense throughout all of that, for some reason that boss battle, man, just felt 1,000 times more epic when I was drunk. That's the only way I can really put it. So, that's a close second, but I still got to go with the Alba one just for, like, storyline and gameplay and upkeep and performance and stuff, so... The least favorite episode slash concept, I guess, is probably the rest of the dual com, because there's a lot of shit we said in there that didn't make sense and counteracted everything else that was happening, and a lot of the same points were repeated like 4 or 5 times, because it's kind of like when you forget when you do things. Like, this thing especially happens when I'm drunk. I can tell the same story in a night 3 different times and not remember that I told it already, so it was kind of like me bringing up the same points over and over, so I have to apologize for that, but that was probably like one of my least favorite parts of this whole 49 episode chunk, as well as the boring missions where I would just be sitting there, you know, trying to come up with something to not be boring, and then ending up having like awkward pauses for 10 or more seconds while I was trying to think of a topic. So those are my least favorite parts so far, but again, we got that new format in place, so that shouldn't happen as much. So that's what we're looking at now. The new format makes things a lot better. Unfortunately, it means I'm a lot less productive in putting these out, because usually I would record commentary while I was doing the gameplay. And when I did that, well, you know, I would do it all in one take. There wouldn't be any super fast mode or speed up or explanations or anything else. There wouldn't be too much post-production if I could avoid it. It would just get done all in one take, and I would just upload the episodes at school. So the trade-off with that is, do you want quality or quantity, basically, right? If you want quality, which is what I think I'm putting out now is quality, you know, you get that not as frequently, because I'm actively working on it to make it better, but at the same time, you get it less frequently, right? If you wanted quantity, you know, I could record a whole hour and 15-minute session of just me talking with no skipping, and granted, it's probably not going to be as good, but you'll get more content, because I'll upload them all at school now that I'm back there. So that's the trade-off, but I think the quality is more important than the quantity. So that's why I'm choosing to do it this way now. So, real quick, before we get to the second part of the training here, we're training HJ, by the way, which will lead to my point. I am back at grad school. It is a lot more brutal than I expected, so I kind of have to say that this isn't going to happen as much, but I'm aiming for at least 1 episode a week, so hoping Tuesday, Wednesday region every week there'll be a new Ogre battle out for you. This is going to slow everything down, I'm sorry, but after Monday and Tuesday at grad school, it's pretty brutal, pretty exhausting, and I came home and took a nap today, so that's what I have to say about that. So anyway, we're getting to the part I wanted to show you guys. This is the training part, and if you train in, I think we ended up with Malaysia, I misspoke earlier, in the same spot for 3 times with your main guy, HJ, I guess, fighting the main unit, the 3rd time around you will fight a Beastmaster and the Giant Elemental in the back for an additional Pedra. And this, of course, would be the Thunder Pedra, and unfortunately for me, this guy in the back here kicks our ass pretty damn hard. Like, I thought I could have taken him, and things were going well, but every single time I would get paralyzed, or someone else would get paralyzed, and because of that, I couldn't get enough attacks off, so you'll see us get our ass kicked in the background, and the whole point to this episode was to do a bunch of organized screen, do a bunch of training, and then get an extra Pedra that we could use in the next mission. But it didn't happen that way. As you can see, I'm getting my ass kicked here, and paralysis sucks, and I end up dying and losing here, so I don't want to say all the training was for naught. I did get some levels out of it, but the whole point of the episode that I wanted to show you is for naught. I did not get the Pedra, so that kind of sucks. So that's why this is the worst episode ever. There was nothing gameplay involved. I did some work on ice screen. We leveled a little bit with boring training, and I talked about the history of the Let's Play. So if you guys stuck it out this long, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time, and I'll make that 3-way decision. So we'll see you next time on Let's Play Ogre Battle 64.